Hi, everybody. This is Maria, and I'm here with Fumiko. Hey, Fumiko.
Hi, everybody.
We're a little early, and I know people are just starting to come on right now. So it is Saturday morning here in California. I'm not sure where everybody's coming in from. You guys can start writing in if you just want to write in the chat box where you're coming in from. Fumiko and I are on starting a little bit early. We're really going to start the webinar in about 6 minutes to be precise, but we just wanted to get on and say hi to everybody. So we're both here in Northern California. I'm in Marin County, right outside San Francisco, and Fumiko is
in Sacramento, capital of California.
sunny Sacramento.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to hear where some of you guys are coming in. So in the bottom of your screen, you should see a little chat box. Just write us in and tell us your name and where you're dialing in from, because we're going to have a great webinar today with people from all over the world, and we'd love to know who's joining us. Fumiko, you want to say good morning to everybody before?
Good morning from people all over the world. I'm super excited. So this is going to be fun, and make sure you have something to drink. I have a hot water, and I'm going to just keep sipping.
My hot water too.
Cheers.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Fumiko, to create, for those of you that are joining us a couple minutes early before we get started. We're going to get started right at 9 o'clock Pacific time. So that's in 5 minutes, but this is a great little period just to get your space, like just get a centered, quiet space where you can really focus, because we have some great content we want to share with you over the next hour or two. So get a nice quiet space, turn off your cell phone or whatever it is that might ping at you, and get some hot water, maybe hot water with lemon, whatever it is that you love.
Another thing is I want to say my daughter and husband here. So I kind of locked my room so that nobody can come except for my dog. My dog is sitting behind me. But it's so important for all of us to feel like we are so worth it, secure this time, and then really focus on what we're going to do, because we're going to give you very nice information. So if you need, lock the door and turn off a phone and just save this time for yourself. And hot water. Okay?
Water. Yes, you still have time. You have 3 minutes to go boil some water. Yeah, so I'm waiting to get little messages over here and see where everyone's coming in from so we can say hello. I'm sure we're going to recognize some of you and some of your names. So just for those of you that are just starting to join us right now, I'm Maria. I'm Fumiko's sister-in-law and business partner. So she's married to my brother, for those of you who don't know who I am. And I'm usually behind the scenes in the business. So we're both here in Northern California. And although it's Saturday morning here, I know a lot of you guys are joining from all over the world. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay. Now, oh my gosh, let me tell you who we have. This is so exciting. We have Germany, we have Iceland, we have Lebanon, we have Belgium, the Ukraine, Japan, Alaska. Oh my gosh, I love it, you guys. That's amazing. Like if all the first places I said were even before the US, which is great. I know you guys are in all different time zones, and just, Fumiko, how much do we appreciate them spending their time with us?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know what time time zone you're in, but it's just crazy and amazing and wonderful that we are here and sharing the energy together and information together. So 2 more minutes. Yeah.
Minutes. I love that you said that, Fumiko, because, right now, if you guys are watching this is live. And there's such replays are great, and you can watch them. Obviously not everybody can make this time or this time zone, but there's something about live energy that is just there's a shift in the energy and it's even greater. So, and your participation here helps create that energy for all of you who are joining us. So thank you for that. We're here for you the whole time. We have so much great stuff to share with you. Fumiko, are you excited?
I am excited. I'm super awake and I feel the energy already because we are about to start in 1 minute. Okay. Did you get a water?
I got water.
Water. Yep.
Oh my gosh, a couple more countries. Kazakhstan. Wow. Thank you, you guys. How excited are you guys to be here? And we have India, we have Luxembourg, we have Latvia, Berlin, Croatia. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you all. Like, are you guys excited to be here? Fumiko, I know you're excited.
Yeah. Are you ready? And are you ready to get the energy going? And I feel it already. So,
are you ready? We got 1 more minute. Oh, it's 9 o'clock, everybody. Okay, so let's get started with this content. So first of all, welcome to the webinar. I am Maria, for those of you who don't know me, and I'm going to be the host of today's webinar. And I am Fumiko's sister-in-law and business partner. And then, of course, we have the lovely Fumiko here. Fumiko, want to say hi?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Yes, exactly, for wherever you are. So we're both here in Northern California where it's 9 o'clock in the morning. And I know we have you guys from all over the world. So just thank you for joining us. Cheers to you for taking this time for yourself and putting yourself first. So we were just telling, we were on a couple minutes early, and Fumiko and I just said to everybody, just really shut off everything else that's going on right now and see if you can close your door, turn off your phone, get your favorite beverage, some hot water, some lemon, some coffee, some tea, whatever it is that you love. And just really take this next chunk of time just to be present with us here, because we have some great information that we want to go over with you, a lot to share. And it can really make a shift and a difference in the way you approach things, not only with your face yoga practice, but just in your entire life. And we're really here to serve you from that aspect. So Fumiko, are you ready to get started?
I am really ready. So let's get started. Okay, everybody ready? Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I am going to start our slides. And the way this is going to work is we are going to do a slide presentation. Will still be visible down there in the corner, but the slides have so much great information and visuals that we want to put them up for the presentation. And then at the end, Fumiko and I will pop up again like this to answer questions for you. But we're both going to be here the whole time. We're just going into slide mode. Okay, so welcome to the Face Toning Boot Camp, where Fumiko is going to tell you her unusual stick your tongue out trick that's currently being used by 854,795 women to tone their entire face. There's probably more than that at this point, but this was our count from all of our social media accounts. And we're going to tell you how you can do it too in less than 10 minutes a day. So before we get started with everything, I want you guys to make me a promise, you guys who are here listening. So can you do that? Can you make me a promise? Put a 1 in the chat box if you can make me a promise. I need you to get excited to make this promise for me. And this is what it is. Don't take too many selfies. You're going to love the way you feel and look once you understand how to take in this information and make it a part of your daily lives. You're going to love it so much, you're going to want to take selfies. And we're going to say, don't take too many selfies. There's enough selfies in this world already. And your beauty shows from the inside out, but it's nice to be able to love yourself enough to want to take them. So that's the promise. So who's going to make that promise for me? Okay, so you can just write any of your comments or your questions in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen into our live chat, and they'll be transmitted to us, and we can go from there. So promise me you won't take too many selfies. Okay, so before I go into the meat of this webinar, I need to do my due diligence and make a disclaimer. And I need to tell you about who this is for and who it's not for. So here's the disclaimer. You're not going to tone your face overnight. So if you came here thinking you were going to get a strategy for toning your face overnight, that's not going to happen. So it's not the right place if that's you thought that this was going to be the magic pill for that. So when Fumiko first started this journey of the face yoga method, at first her whole concept was that her journey was personal to her, and what she wanted to do was get years off her face. I think it was about 10 years, just really improve the way she looked, which in turn would improve her self-confidence. That was what she wanted when she started this journey. And things took a little bit of a turn. But what she realized is that there was something different coming together here. She found that it was exercising her face, her natural skincare, and her mindfulness practices that were going to get her where she wanted to go. And so her journey took her on a whole different tangent than what she had thought. And what she ended up doing was creating over 80 face exercises that target different areas of the face. And it was just a completely different journey. That was all she wanted at the beginning. And what happened is it just went a whole different path, and it brought us here. And what I'm going to do right now is show you guys just how effective those exercises really are. And not just for her, but for many of thousands and thousands of her students. So here we have Fevronia, who was on one of our workshops about 3 months ago. And these are her results. And what I want to do is read you what Fevronia, she's in Greece, so it can be done all over the world. And even if you don't speak English, everything we do and when Fumiko teaches is in video. And videos can be a universal language. So this is what Fevronia wrote to us. She said, Denise, who's one of our moderators in our Facebook group, thank you very much. I feel so grateful to have FYM in my life. It makes me love myself and my face more and more every day. It makes getting up early in the morning something I enjoy doing. I love the 100 splashes, the big O's, the hot water, and the deep breaths. It is so soothing to hug myself when I do the shoulders rotation. I also feel that the community is supportive and friendly. I always took care of my face, but as time passed, I felt helpless when I saw the changes. I realize now that FYM is my weapon to beat the signs of aging, not only externally, but internally as well. And we couldn't have said it better ourselves. Beautifully said. So what we love seeing about this is how much her confidence was boosted because of the internal changes that came. It's not just the external changes. So before diving into the workshop, I want to show you guys one more quick video. And this video is from one of our students named Nix, who is in London. And Nix has been this amazing, dedicated student. And in this video, she's just about to turn 50. And she talks about her experience with face yoga and what it's done for her. So I'm going to let Nix speak for herself. I'm going to bring up her video right here and just play it for you.
I found face yoga because I was looking for something that would make me look fresher. I'm 49 and I could really start to see that happening to my face. And I started looking and actually I thought, okay, so this is somebody who looks really beautiful and really delicate, and obviously this seems to be something that's going to do what I want to do. The theory behind it is fabulous and it makes a lot of sense. it's, you know, I'm fine about getting older. I love the wisdom that comes with it. I love the sense of ease that comes with it. But I can't deny that when I looked in the mirror in the morning, particularly with a side light, which I have in my bathroom, I would just look in the mirror and go, oh, oh. So actually, I'm not doing that now. And it's only been really 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. And now I am looking in the mirror with a fairly strong side light hitting my face in the mornings. And I'm looking at myself and going, cool. And that's a really nice feeling. It's not about being vain. It's not about any of those things. I just want to be able to keep a sense of myself as I get older. It's funny, we went out for dinner last Sunday. We went for Sunday lunch with friends who I haven't seen for a while. And Eve, my friend, was really staring at me. She was really staring. And she said, oh, you look so well. You look so well. And then I went to the toilet. Yeah. And when I came back, they'd said to Ben, these friends, she looks amazing. What's she doing? She's been doing this face yoga. And I got back to the table and they were like, show us some stuff. Like, we're in the middle of a pub, you know.
Okay, so Fumika, what do you want to say about Nyx? Because I know you worked with her directly.
Yes, she wasn't really expecting how she's gonna feel, but she wanted to change something because she was feeling good. But when her friends confirmed that she's looking different, that really changed the way she started approaching and doing the exercises. And you saw the bubbly personality, and she's just so happy inside out, and that makes me super happy.
Awesome. You know what? One of our tech people behind the scenes is just telling me right now that our workshop is completely full. And so I have to apologize for people that can't get in, even though they can't hear me right now. But so if you're in right now, if you leave us, you probably won't be able to get back in. So I just want you to know that it's completely full. We didn't realize how much this was going to max out the lines. So thank you for being here. So can you guys relate to Nyx? Is there anyone in the audience, I'm sure there probably is, that's approaching their 50s, right around that point in life? And can you see yourself in her? Do you see how Nyx, she relates to every single one of us? She has the same hopes and fears when it comes to the whole aging process. So I'm going to go back to the slides now, and we are going to keep on going. So at this point, you might be wondering who this is for. Maybe you're thinking, okay, face yoga worked for Nyx, it worked for Fevronia, but will it really work for me? And people ask me that all the time. So who is this for? Is it if you're a woman over 45, if you're under 45? So who it's for is there's no age limit. It doesn't matter. We have students that go from our 20s all the way up to their 90s. But who it's not for is somebody who wants an overnight face toning solution. If you're that person who, it's not like walking into a doctor's office and getting a procedure and walking out an hour later with that procedure done and instantaneous results. If that is what you're looking for, I just want to be clear right now, then this is not for you. If you're more along the lines of Nyx and Fevronia and a bunch of other women that have thousands of other women that have worked with us, and some more you're going to see today, and you're willing to put in 5 to 10 minutes a day and really make transformational changes from the inside out, then it's definitely for you, and age is not a factor. We love having somebody in the we love having someone in our community that is younger, because that person, it's preventative for her. And I wish I had known a lot more of this when I was younger. So if you're in the first group of people and you're willing to do the work and what I'm saying resonates with you, then here is my goal for this workshop. Number one, to teach you that the only way for you to naturally tone your face and stream your neckline is through face exercises. And the only way to practice face exercises correctly and efficiently, which are huge factors when choosing how you're going to do it, are through the face yoga method. So I realize that this is a bold claim, and I am going to show you why we can say this and back it up. So you guys, most of you, or you ladies, most of you are familiar with Fumiko and her work, and you've heard me talk about her. Well, I want to dive a little bit deeper into her story and who she is and what her work is all about. So in these photos, we're going to go back almost 15 years to the beginning of Fumiko's face yoga career, where Fumiko, I know you felt so fortunate and honored to be selected by many of the top TV shows in Asia to do demonstrations, to do sponsorship appearances, and to have over, how many best-selling books did you have?
I have 5 books translated into different languages. Yes.
All over Asia. And I know how honored you told me you felt when you were selected to do all of these appearances and go on all of these major TV shows. And I know that your following grew so much that people started to seek you out in person as your popularity grew and you were on these shows and you started to do these smaller classes. Well, that's actually not a really small class. You had a lot of people seeking you out in Asia, and she was started to do these classes all over Japan. So that's Fumiko's background, which we're going to dive a little bit deeper into. I want to just give you a quick background on myself for those of you who aren't familiar with me. So I'm Maria. I am Fumiko's sister-in-law. She's married to my brother, and I am also her business partner in the face yoga method. And here is a picture of us. We were together. This was, I think this was like 3 years ago, Fumiko.
Yeah.
Here we are at a meditation retreat. It's something we do and did together to work on our business and to work on ourselves, bring a lot of that teaching into the business. And I am 53 right now, and I met Fumiko when I was in my early 40s. Yeah, a little over 10 years ago. And the way that we ended up getting involved as business partners is I was so impressed with the results that she was getting and that she had. And I was just at that stage, in my early 40s. And where the aging process starts to kick in a little bit more. And I thought, gosh, I'm so impressed with this. I really want to be part of this. And we ended up creating the face yoga method together. So now that you know who I am, and what I want to do now is tell you a little bit more about Fumiko and how it all began. So Fumiko, here you are. We see the results of the face yoga method in these photos. We've got you on the left here almost 14 years ago, because you're turning 50 this year.
Yep, big 50. I love it. Yep.
Wow, which is a super exciting landmark. And one of our goals is to make that landmark more exciting for women that are turning 50, for anyone that's turning 50, because I know a lot of people that are not excited about that landmark. But one of our mottos is you should be excited about everything, especially making it to that point. And these are Fumiko's results of the past 15 years of the face yoga method. So before the face yoga method was even just like a little blip on her radar, Fumiko had this passion for teaching, family, and freedom. And they were her main motivations in life. So she was this university student in Tokyo, and then became a teacher there. And that gave her the lifestyle that she was looking for, that allowed her to live the values of teaching, family, and freedom. She was able to teach, to travel during the off time of teaching, and constantly have a new stimulation in her life with all of the different kind of people that she met through her teaching career. And at the same time, she had the freedom to experience new things. And Fumiko, I know you loved your teaching so much, and you were loved by your students so much that you decided to take this fateful yet pivotal trip to the US to meet an old student of yours from Japan. And that is when a tragedy struck. And that tragedy was your car accident that left your face out of alignment. So Fumiko, do you just want to touch briefly on that? What happened there?
Sure. Well, look at this. This is right after the car accident. And I was so lucky that I didn't get killed right there because I was in the ambulance and I was told I was lucky. So look at this. I don't know if you can see it, but my face got so out of alignment and I really did not recognize myself. I didn't want to look at myself. I just avoided everything. And you're probably thinking like, oh, you know, your age and you look young. But when I show this picture to people, that's when people look like, oh, yeah. So see that? Eyebrow high, the corner of the mouth. I could not even smile straight because my face was so out of alignment because my body got so out of alignment. I was hit from the side and that was the result. I wasn't happy at all.
And I know some of you may be thinking, well, I don't see that, you know, it's not this dramatic out of alignment. And that's why we put the grid over it, because it's oftentimes the tiniest things that only we ourselves see that have the biggest internal effect on us. And it was out of alignment, and there was a shift in the jawline on the entire skull, and that was what bothered her. And when something like that happens to you, you come from an internal space, even though other people don't see it. And that is why Fumiko did not take a lot of photos during that period of time, because she didn't feel good about herself. So can any of you out there relate to that lack of confidence, to having something internal that other people tell you, oh, I don't see that, or it's not a big deal, yet it's something that really resonates inside of you and it prohibits you from maybe shining through your best self? Can anybody out there relate to that? Have you ever been in an incident or just like the aging process in general, and that, you know, you notice a change in the mirror and it just starts to shift the way you're thinking about things? It doesn't have to be a lightning bolt or a life-threatening moment like Fumiko's. Sometimes it's just an almost imperceptible moment when little things start to change and you notice it.
Or even acne, right? Like, I have acne. Nobody noticed, but you just so worry about it. You want to hide yourself. And that's how I felt, the same way. Yeah.
Yeah. It may seem almost nothing to others, but to you, and to Fumiko in this picture, it was a lot. And what she started to do was to cover herself up because she did not feel good about herself. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to let Fumiko tell you her story through this period in her life where I know you didn't have a lot of pictures, Fumiko, and a couple things that happened to you in the way you shifted throughout the story. So I'll let you tell it and bring in a couple more photos to illustrate it.
Okay. Well, when I look at myself and I saw that asymmetry on my face, on top of that, I was getting old. 35, 36 years old. That's when everything started downhill. And you probably think that, oh, you know, you still look good. That's what people say. But to me, it wasn't the person I was. And look at this one. My face was so puffy and my eyes are getting so droopy that I would not look like myself. And like I said, like, whoa, I don't want to see. I don't want to look at myself. And then my face, not the face, but the skin was really oily. And then I started wearing overalls, just overalls, because I wanted to deny that the losing confidence was looking, you know, showing outside externally. And I said to myself, I'm confident. I kept telling myself, I'm confident. I can wear anything. I should feel confident. So I was telling myself trying to convince myself I'm confident. But look at me overall, like all the time. I wore overall pretty much 4 times a week because I didn't want to look like I was losing confidence. Did that make sense? You're probably feeling like, oh wow, she's just outdoor girl, but it wasn't me. It was me, but trying to hide my insecurity. And look, I'm doing the fishing, and then I even went to, this is so funny, I went to even restaurants, sushi restaurant in Japan with overall and a baseball cap and a big t-shirts because I wanted to cover myself and pretend I was confident, but I wasn't. I was losing confidence in a big time. So
And what did somebody say to you during that period that really did things?
there's a big that was a huge, I don't know, it still feels like ugh. But when I went to a party, a friends of mine's party, one of the guests was half Italian, half Japanese guy, and he looked at me and he said, why I was dressing like that, with overall and a t-shirts and baseball cap and a 5 tall socks. And I pretend I was okay, like, oh, because I'm so confident, I don't want people judge me from outside. And he looked at me straight in my eyes and he said, you know what? If the book is not attractive outside, I don't even want to know what's inside. And you're not dressing properly or well enough, I'm not interested, I'm interested in you. Basically, he said, I don't dress well. And that really shocked me. I tried to protect myself, like, no, because I'm so confident, I can wear anything I want and I still look good and I feel good, but I wasn't. It just really broke my heart because I felt like I was denied. And my personality, I'm so strong outside, but there's a sensitive side inside of me, and that really hurt me. And I started thinking like, I have to do something. And this is a picture, by the way, on the right bottom with Henry. And I was so tomboy, sweat and fishing and beanie cap. And I thought I was confident, but inside there's a little bit of something going on. Like, I'm not confident. I have to pretend I'm confident. And I really pushed myself so hard. So that was what's happening. And you can see with my overalls, I loved overalls, but that was one of the camouflage outfit I had to wear.
Yeah. And I know that it was this period in your life when, you had that internal shift, because I know you stayed healthy for that whole period. Mm-hmm. But then you started to think, well, I'm still exercising and taking care of my body, but yet I'm trying to hide everything. What if I started applying those exercises to my face to try to regain my confidence in the way I look? And I know that this is when you asked yourself, why not exercise my face the same way that I exercise my body? And Fumiko started this whole journey where just for her, she started creating these exercises after that sort of period in her life where she wanted to hide. And sure enough, slowly but surely, I think within the first several months, people started to notice a difference, not only in the way she looked, but the way her confidence was boosted. And that in turn made her more beautiful, the way she was acting from the inside out. And it was during this period that she got noticed by a publisher who asked her to write a book on face yoga. And that's when your career really started to take off. And I know you started doing all over Asia, particularly in Japan, TV shows, sponsorship appearances, photo shoots, and magazine interviews. And that's what you're seeing here on the screen. And I think a lot of people look at it, and I know you told me this, Fumiko, during that period in your life. A lot of people look at this and the life, and from an outsider's perspective, they were so impressed. They're like, oh my gosh, you're famous, you're traveling, you're making money. But back to your core freedoms of family, freedom, and time, what you realized is that you didn't actually have that freedom and time, and that you felt, I know you told me, we're going to show a video, that you felt like a little bit of a puppet on a string because you were beholden to all these shows and sponsorships, and that your dreams of starting a family and creating this different life of freedom were actually slipping away. and you were in a more male-oriented society that was very conservative and wasn't really supporting these dreams, rather that you were the puppet in it, and your main core values weren't being recognized or fulfilled. So when you recognized all this, what did you do when you realized all that?
I left Japan at the peak of my career. That was, people thought I was crazy. And in retrospect, I think I was crazy, but I just could not take it. Have you ever felt like you're doing something, but very deep inside, you're telling yourself like, no, 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 and you're denying it? And that was what's happening. And I said, you know what, I can't do it anymore. I have to really listen to my body, listen to my heart, which is living that life and create something I always wanted. So that's why I'm here in California.
And what I want to do is just show them so everyone can really understand what a day in your life looked like. The life that people thought was so glamorous is just show them a little blip here from a Korean TV show where you yeah, so that was a period in your life when you were feeling like the puppet.
Yeah.
And
So,
you were actually teaching.
yeah, I love teaching. That teaching part was always great. But not having the life I really wanted, that started getting big in my head. And then, fast forward.
Yeah,
Right?
because that whole period of your life sent you on this journey to where you are today, which is married now with the family that you wanted. There you are in the upper left-hand corner with Henry, who's my brother, your dog Duffy, and Nina. And now Fumiko has actually, when she left what wasn't internally working for her, she created what she really did want. And now I know one of your most gratifying experiences, which you tell me all the time, is being able to actually teach instead of just perform. Teaching with people. You have a team of 10 strong women all over the world, or I should say 9, you're the 10th, we're a team together. And you have over 500,000 followers and millions of views on social media. And so this is just a glimpse, sort of a snapshot of Fumiko's life today, because she made that internal shift, which created the external world that she wanted. Fumiko, you want to say anything? Like, it's kind of crazy how fast that happened once you made that change.
Crazy, amazing, but like Maria said, it started from here. I didn't create this from here. It's so interesting when I felt, I want to leave that business in Japan, all the TV shows, but I still love teaching. Like, teaching is always fascinate me, because when I see other people start shining and changing, that gives me such a joy. And, always like that, because I taught in high school and college in Japan. And now I feel like I have the both thing I wanted, teaching and also having the family. And it's possible. So right here, I think is more important than here. And when we connect them together, that is going to super strong. And
yeah, it's been a long journey, but a fast journey with ups and downs. And that after 10 plus years, because that journey started probably over 10 years ago, that you discovered that changing your life and changing your face was always within your reach. So do you ladies out there listening want to discover the easy way to transformation, to creating that inner confidence and that change? Do you want to know what that is? What Fumiko used to do this, how she did this? I want to see if you guys are excited about learning and getting into this, how she actually did this. Are you ready for it? Please just write in the chat box below and let us know that you're excited to hear about how this actually happened. Okay, I'm seeing some yeses coming in. So if you've been struggling with confidence, with shying away from photographs, from not recognizing yourself in the mirror, from always being the photographer instead of actually in the photo, then this is probably why. You're doing it the hard way. What most women have been compelled to do today by the media and society is to seek out skincare products, and to seek out external treatments, because we're made to believe that this is the be all and the end all, and it's our only option. And it ends up costing a lot of time and money every month. I'm sure many of you can relate to this. And I'm sure many of you have done this. Fumiko, I know you told me you tried everything out there, from the gadgets to the serums to the creams. And what's really interesting is Fumiko and I talked about this. We did a lot of research and we came up with this. We found this study that was done just last year by the Huffington Post, and they surveyed over 3,000 women because they wanted to find out, and these women were between the ages of 16 and 75, and they wanted to find out how much they were actually spending on beauty per se. And they came up with the number that the average worth, and this was American women, of a woman's face cost $8 per day. So here's the average prices they had, and $8 per day ends up being $240 a month. And that's just the average. When you know, it's kind of funny when you look at this map, they're showing New York on the high end, and New York and Connecticut at $11 a day. So I'm sure many of you can relate to going down that path from these skincare trends. And Fumiko, I know you've gone through all of that. You were willing to try every device you could get your hands on, just because you wanted to feel confident and great about yourself. And the worst part is that after spending so much time and money, you were right back where you started. And you didn't feel like you made these transitions or these shifts, both internally and externally, that you wanted. And that's hard, because that actually makes you lose confidence when you're trying so hard for something and you don't see the results, and confidence starts to be lost. Can anybody out there, any of you women, relate to this? Has anybody been down this path before of just, I'm going to try that. Oh, this is the next thing. I'm going to try that. Have any of you ever put your complete faith for a period of time in a product just to realize 6 months later it's just not working, or it's disappointing? Or maybe some of you have even reached that point of, I just don't care. I don't care, because I've tried everything and I just can't give it this energy, and I don't care anymore. Can any of you guys relate to that? Any of you women? It doesn't have to be this way, because we are going to show you how you can tone your face live in just 10 minutes. It's completely available to you. And after 15 years of practice, and after having over 800,000 students practice the face yoga method, these are Fumiko's top 3 secrets when it comes to toning your face. So secret number 1, and we're going to go into each of these secrets, is face exercises. And after interviewing over 300,000 women, we were shocked that 98.3% were struggling with the same 3 skin sagging frustrations. Secret number 2, why jumping on the next skincare trend will actually set you up to fail, and your skin suffers because of it. And secret number 3, Fumiko's number 1 time management trick that will teach you how to turn every day into a good face day without feeling like you have to try too hard. So let's go into secret number 1, where we learned after interviewing over 300,000 women what 98.3% were struggling with. And they were the 3 same skin sagging frustrations. So in retrospect, it seems so obvious now, after going through this, to exercise your face. But back then, Fumiko, I know it hit you like a ton of bricks that you needed to exercise your face like your body. because everybody knows that if you want to tone your body, you're not just going to buy a skin firming lotion and hope for the best. So why aren't we thinking that about our face muscles in the same way? It's just not a societal tradition. And so why are our face muscles so different from our body? If our body, we can tone those muscles, why can't we tone our face muscles? And Fumiko, I know you were doing yoga almost, you told me the other day, from the age of 10, so almost 40 years. And it took you almost that long to connect the dots between doing body exercises to actually doing face exercises. Do you want to tell about that moment when you made that transition to think, of course, I've been doing this for years and now I can apply it to my face?
Yeah, sure. I still remember very vividly that evening. I was about to go to the gym and exercise my body and do yoga. And I was looking at the mirror and look at side profile like, wow, my face is really saggy. And I was thinking about my body, okay, it's not too bad. My weight has been the same ever since I was 18. And I don't know how exactly I started moving, just looking in front of the mirror. And wait a minute, face has a muscle. I mean, sure, face has a muscle, but it didn't really click in my head. Wait a minute, if I move this, why not tone my face at the same time? And I knew at that moment, I knew that if I move my face correctly, that's a point, okay? You can't just move this. If I move my face correctly, especially my under eye and also my face line, I can change it. And I felt like thunder or something just hit on me. And I got so excited because I felt it. And that's how I started in the very beginning of my journey, long time ago.
Okay, so once you started to create your method, I know that you had the sticking out the tongue pose amongst others, which you know is the most effective way to get face yoga results. So can you briefly explain here how the tongue is used in these exercises that we're showing on the screen?
Yes, you don't believe it. You're probably thinking, I don't want to do that. Like only Fumiko can do it. But here, tongue is muscle and it connected to the throat. And when I was looking at myself in a mirror, I realized that when I move my tongue, it really changed the way my throat and neck and jawline felt. And that's when I knew, like, let's add this one in order to get the most benefit out of moving my chin and neckline. And that's how I started. And it looks funny, but the funny part, when you look funny and when you're having so much fun, that really gives you more benefits because life should be fun. And when you start laughing at yourself, that when I start feeling like, wow, I'm having good time and I'm feeling great about myself. I can look at myself and a smile and I can go out without hiding myself or without wearing overall. So I started even dressing a little differently.
Can you do one quick exercise?
Yeah. Are you ready? Okay. I want you to put a hand on the chest. A tongue started coming here. Okay. And just relax and breathe in and out and imagine you're having so much fun. You are 6 years old. Are you ready? You stick your tongue out and move. You feel that movement? So we're going to add to this. Look up slightly and you feel good, nice stretch sensation. And we're going to stick your tongue out toward the ceiling. Feel it. And if you're ready, move your tongue left and right. 2, 3. Wow, come out and do this every time you go to bathroom. Don't tell me you don't have a time. Everybody goes to bathroom. So now, go bathroom, stick your tongue out, do it. I don't know how many times you go to bathroom, but I guarantee if you do it every single time you go to bathroom, you get that result.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So initially, Fumiko, when you were learning these exercises, I know you just did them for yourself because it was something you wanted to change your journey and make changes for yourself. So you started doing them for yourself. But after a couple months of trial and error, when friends and family started to notice and ask about it, you started to hold mini classes for groups. And here's some of these groups that Fumiko was working with at the time, just small groups of people that had asked her to help them because they saw the results that she was getting. And what happened is that these results started showing up in her friends and family that she was working with in these little group photos here. And they started to get such great results that Fumiko decided to actually systemize what she was doing, because at first it was just one-on-one, and she realized, I need to make a system. And this is just a quick look at all of the exercises and how she systemized them and puts them into different areas of the face. So she categorizes them. So it wasn't just random the way she was teaching anymore. And here's a photo, an actual photo of the kind of results that people were getting. Now, this is a thermographic photo, and it shows the face after 3 sets of 10 seconds of her exercises of the Big O, which is one of the exercises she teaches. And this is just 3 sets. This is less than a minute of this. And you can clearly see from this thermographic photo the increase in oxygen and the blood circulation in the face, which of course translates into more glowing, beautiful skin. So can you women out there see the difference in this photo? Can you see where it's made? And can you see and understand how simple and easy it would be to start creating real change from the inside out in less than a minute? Just in less than a minute. Imagine that this is only one exercise. So if you can see that there's actual possibility to start creating this change, I'd love for you to put some yeses in the chat box so we know that you are with us here and you can start to see what is possible for you too. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm hearing very informative, brilliant, looking forward to learning more. Excellent, because Fumiko, we have so much more for them. And what I want to do right now is take a look at Karen's results. So this is a photo docu-series of Karen, who's one of Fumiko's students. And what we love about Karen is that she actually took the time to take a photo of herself every week. And that's just a quick little photo. And she sent us in unsolicited. We had no idea she was going to do this. She sent us this series of photos because she was so thrilled with her results. And we love that she documented it every step of the way. And what she said is, she said, "I'm thrilled with the changes I see, and especially how symmetrical my face is again. I do 15 minutes or so daily, of which most is while I'm in my car. Your method really works and has become a permanent part of my life. Thank you so much for sharing and changing my life." And that is what we love. Can you, aren't you guys happy for Karen? I mean, imagine that shift that makes in Karen's life, because just because she's starting to make these tiny changes, she starts to feel so much better about herself internally, but it's still having an external effect. So can you imagine how this boost of confidence, how that starts transformations in all other aspects of life? So do you think you could get results like this if you were to just do what Karen is doing? Yes, I see it. I love it. People are writing in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you. They're seeing it and they're starting to understand where this is coming from, Fumiko, how this is whole mind-body connection. It's not just instant transformation. So just, to carry on in that vein, this is just a sampling of the testimonials that we receive on a daily basis. And we get all sorts of social media videos, everything sent to us. And you'll see in the upper left-hand corner, there's Catherine, and she sent us a picture. She says in the picture, multitasking. I'm a mother, a wife, and an entrepreneur, and a face yogi. And she shows us pictures of herself using the pencil for symmetry and then driving. So we get this kind of thing all the time. Yes, right? And then there I am in the bottom right-hand corner of this picture. And that was me on the left, probably around the time right before I met Fumiko. And then that was me about 2 years ago when, so I'm 53 now. Yeah. So we get this kind of thing all the time. And I'm so grateful to Fumiko personally for everything that she has taught me. And I want to take a look now at Kim, because I know how connected you are to Kim, and she had a really interesting experience that I know a lot of you ladies out there are going to relate to on a personal level. So let's just take a quick look.
It was my jawline, because I'm in my 50s. I'm 55, okay? And my jawline, and I'll be sending you pictures, you'll see a difference, is the issue, okay? It really made me self-conscious, you know? But now, this whole thing and you just changed my life seriously in many ways that you can imagine. I can, to tell you the truth, I've had locked jaw before, okay? And I do have proof where I have to go to the dentist to get this.
Oh, I have the same one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And since I've been doing your exercises, I haven't been able to use this. And one other thing I had a problem was with swallowing, but with the face yoga, since I started last year with the book, has helped me immensely. I don't have any problems with that because I went through what is called, menopause.
Yeah.
And I'm, you get problems. You get issues with those. But now I feel good. And I feel beautiful because of you, too.
Oh, thank you. And you mentioned that people noticed, right? Your husband?
A whole bunch of people noticed at work. I mean, my family. They think I actually got Botox, my family.
Really?
When I got, yes, honest to God. And even at work, I'll get that. They go, you have to get Botox. I go, no, it's facial yoga. And I always write your name down. It's on Facebook, too. And everything like that. I mean, my husband's here. He'll tell you. My husband is so proud of me. He's involved in this, with me and helping me and encouraging me. So it's wonderful.
That's great.
I love it.
Oh.
You're back on air for me.
Okay.
So, yeah. I love that video of Kim. Can any of you women out there relate to that, to going through menopause and just having these changes happen in your body that feel so out of your control and so new and so foreign? And sometimes you start to feel like your confidence goes down because it's like, oh, I'm getting older in society. And it's just, I can definitely relate to that feeling. And I'm wondering if any of you can, and if you can see how elated, can you relate to how happy Kim is feeling? I can just see the joy in her face that she's showing. And what would it feel like to have your family and friends start to say that they're noticing these differences? It makes me happy for her. Yes, Fumiko.
Can I add that? Kim actually transformed her face more than that video. She looks so great. Her face line, very, very sharp. And wow. And that shows that it's never too late. Never too young, never too late. I'm so happy for her. Yes.
No, absolutely. So I'm going to keep moving on. And because I know some of you might still be thinking, okay, it worked for Kim. It worked for Favronia, who we saw earlier. It worked for Nyx. And we're all at different stages in our life. And I want to show you one more video, a quick video here of Julia, who had such an interesting experience. Julia is over 60 and she did not feel that confident. And she had a super interesting experience that she tells us about when she went to actually go get facial fillers. And I want you to hear what her doctor said to her when she walked into the doctor's office and wanted to get facial fillers, because it was super compelling.
Hello everyone. I'm Julia. I'm 64 years old next week. I'm from the UK. I've done the exercises religiously 3 times a day. I've now started using some of the brush, and I'm going to do it again for 30 days because I love what I see. Now, before I talk about what I see on the outside, I'd like to talk a bit about what's on the inside. I couldn't look in a mirror. I hated seeing what my face was doing. So here I am today, 64 years old, no makeup on, facely fresh washed. So it's been a huge change. What do I see? I see a toned, much more toned face. I see higher cheeks, very few crow's feet. I do have 11 lines. I'm going to see if I can turn it so you can see them. But they are going down beautifully. In fact, at one point I had been told that when I went in to see about fillers, that there was no point because my muscles were too strong and they couldn't fill properly. What else can I tell you? I'm going to continue on. We're going to see if we can't get rid of some more lines and get even more confidence. I want to thank Fumiko and her group of helpers.
Fumiko, you're sitting there doing your
Oh,
exercise.
I can't help myself. So
Yeah, you want to show them the one that you're doing right while I bring up this next slide?
yeah. Oh, I'm just doing this because my head get a little tight right here. The palms up and thumbs on top of the head, and pull your forehead up and slightly chin up. Breathe in. And breathe in. When you can't breathe in anymore, slightly keep touching the side of your face and side of your neck and side of your chest and side of your body. I call it instant pick me up because it picks me up right away. So when I start looking like, oh, tired, do this. So that's why you saw. Okay? One of the poses, by the way.
I love it. I love it. So after watching Julia, can you imagine if you actually went in to get Botox or fillers, if any of you do that, if you went in there and your doctors gave you that kind of response? I love that. She's too firm for that, they say. So you may still be thinking, okay, Kimberly, Julia, but it might not work for me. So let's just take a look at who it does work for and who we have seen results that it worked for. Because we have had thousands of women and men in the face yoga method classes of all ages, you know, from the lower end, usually in the 20s, all the way up to the 90s. And in fact, we even have one male certified teacher, which we're super excited about. So the majority of the people who join us here are beginners with no experience in face yoga. And I think that gives them a certain advantage of not having learned anything incorrectly, because form is everything. It is quality over quantity, since you only have to practice 5 to 10 minutes a day. So this is who it works for. You don't have to have practice before. You don't have to have a huge thing you want to fix. It's okay if you've had Botox or other procedures. Your skin is attached to the muscle, and that is what makes it work, because we are working the muscles. And when your muscle sags, it brings the skin down. So I'm sure that almost everyone here uses some kind of skincare product. And I want you to know that we do too. This is not to say skincare products are bad. It's not that we don't believe in them, because we do. We totally believe in them. But what they are is they're a complement. They're a complement to the healthy way we treat our body and our muscles. And they treat superficial effects, but not actually the cause. So it's like thinking once again back to the body firming lotion. Imagine not exercising your body and just counting on body firming lotion to tone your body. I'm sure you probably wouldn't do that, would you? Well, the same holds true for your face. So right now you're probably thinking, face exercises must be hard, and I've never done this before. Well, the truth is that face exercises are not just about contorting your face, because that is just going to make a bad situation worse. We don't want you to form bad habits. And form is what matters most to get the results that you're after. And Fumiko has spent years, over a decade, perfecting the method, and she knows what gets results. So does this make sense to you, the way the muscles work? Does this make sense? Would you just go to the gym without a plan and start throwing weights around without really understanding how to use them, or without getting some kind of training first or instruction? I hope that makes sense to you. You know, if it does, I'd love for you guys just to write in, or you women to write in the chat box, that this is starting to connect about the muscles in your body and the muscles in your face. Excellent. Excellent. I love it. I'm getting some responses here. Yes, it's resonating. It's making sense. And I know a couple of you might be thinking, this sounds great, but I don't have the time. You might even be thinking, I don't go to the gym. How could I possibly have the time to do this? And we get it. But the truth is that Fumiko is a working mother with a child, a husband, and a staff of 8. And like so many of you, we understand the pressure of trying to fit in just one more thing into your day. So this is just a snapshot of Fumiko's day, where it's a variety of different things, from cooking to cleaning to working and to driving, to chauffeuring her daughter around. Does anybody out there do at least one of these activities on a daily basis? One of these, maybe the cooking, the cleaning, the working, the driving. I'm pretty sure that Fumiko's not the only one that's doing all of this. And on top of all this, Fumiko goes to ongoing education in acupuncture and meditation and self-development, so that she can always bring the best information to the face yoga method. And this is not to say that Fumiko is some sort of superhero. It's to relate that you probably do a lot of the same things that Fumiko does, and it's just a matter of understanding how this can be incorporated into your life. And Catherine, who is in the bottom right-hand corner, gives us such a great example. She sent us these photos. We saw her in an earlier photo, and she says she's a multitasking woman. I'm a mother, a wife, and an entrepreneur, and a face yogi. So do you see yourself in any of these activities? Does anyone relate to what Fumiko's lifestyle looks like? And would you agree that if you did at least one of these activities, whether it be working, taking care of your family, driving, cooking, that you could have a successful face yoga practice if you understood how to incorporate it? Yes, I am definitely seeing comments back that says it makes perfect sense and it has worked for me. So right now, you might be thinking, won't I look ridiculous or silly doing these exercises? Am I going to drive around in the car? Am I going to like clean my house while I'm making puffy faces? So you might be thinking that. I understand. And the truth is, you will. You will probably look silly, but who cares? Our philosophy is life should be fun. And let's make it fun. You can be silly. That actually brings out your inner child. And it kind of creates this energy when you're doing these, both internally and externally, that draws people to you. And here in this photo, we've got 3 of our face, Soraya there on the left with her little niece. And then over on the right, we have 2 of our face yoga method practitioners that ended up meeting up in person. They didn't even know each other before. And I love that the funness, the silliness of what they're doing brought them together. And there we have 2 soccer players. We like to say they're practicing their neck toning exercises quite furiously down in the bottom right. So who here would love to have an excuse to do something silly in the middle of the day that is also useful? and that you could do anytime, anywhere. We all need to bring out the inner child a little bit more and have a little more fun. And we love being able to incorporate that into the face yoga method. So can you think of where you could have fun doing this? I know we've had several people write us in that people actually approach them. And I know people have approached you many times, Fumiko, just because they see you making these crazy faces. It's fun.
It's fun, but you can't help yourself. Once you start feeling the good little circulation and look good, it becomes your second nature. So watch out. It's going to be fun.
Watch out. Yeah. Yes, I want to show you Linda because she's so cute and she just has the best energy. And she talks about how she turned it into.
Hi, my name's Linda Shields, and I'm saying hello from Vancouver Island, British Columbia. I was just intrigued that it was so tight, so organized, and so simplified. And when I watched Fumiko, she was just so delightful. She just looked so cute doing those exercises, especially, I just love that detox. I love now, especially how aware of my face. But you know what? I'm having so much fun. Even now, it's like just being aware of my face. I'm driving in the car. I'm doing my smile. I'm lifting my lips. I'm calming my forehead. I'm even doing it at work. Even that, I feel like there's been a huge success for me. And I can't thank you enough.
Maria, can I add that too? I just remember that because this is such a second nature to me. When I even ride a bicycle or go outside, take my dog out, I always lift my cheeks up because everything is going down. Gravity is pulling everything down, right? So I instantly just lift my cheeks up, and that makes me feel good too. So I was riding a bicycle one day, taking my daughter to school, Nina to school, and I was cheek high, riding a bicycle, and I didn't even think people are looking at me, and so many people say, hi, hi, hi. And I ride a bicycle like that, but never had that many encounters. People say, hi, hi, and then realize that I had my cheek high. And people thought I was laughing and smiling, but I wasn't. I was just doing the face exercise. So people, if you started doing the face exercise and get so used to it, that's kind of something you really have to watch out because you can't stop. And it is so much fun. And even now, I was looking at the video and I was doing it together and just stick your tongue out. So something I want to add. Yeah.
No, it's such a great icebreaker. I love it. I love it. And she just has the best energy. I love that we bring that energy, that you bring it, that people get it from what they're practicing. So I know there's probably some of you that are watching Linda and the other women that we've had up here and saying, okay, that's you, Fumiko. I couldn't do that. And you're saying, I get it. Face exercises work. And even if I found the time, I'm not so sure I could do it. So both Fumiko and I follow Tony Robbins, and I very much adhere to his philosophy that if you want to achieve success, all you need to do is find a way to model those who have already succeeded. And that is exactly what all these women that we just showed you, they just modeled something that already existed. It wasn't something super hard or complicated. And I love that. And so what it is we've achieved, these women have achieved the results that so many people are looking for. I'm going to show you just a couple more here who actually have done that. And here we have Choi, who, what I love about her is she wrote to us that she didn't even realize her progress with face yoga until she found an older photo and she saw firmer, higher cheeks and more open eyes. And then here, this woman who sent us photos of herself. I love her before afters. People that take pictures definitely see the results because sometimes they're subtle. But if you look at the top row of her photos, it's her mouth, how she was battling droopiness around the lip and the jawline. And she was able to stop that and make it turn the other direction. And same with her forehead, where she was really sort of unconsciously using her muscles in the wrong way, and did exercises to start revising that, to correct that. And here we have this practitioner who was getting droopy eyelids, and she saw it coming, and she's like, okay, I'm going to battle this. I'm going to start right now diligently doing my exercises. And she saw a very noticeable difference from the lift in her brow and her eye being able to open more fully. And that was this year. In just a very short period, she was getting results. Love these photos. And this one is very dramatic. I know this is something so many people battle with, is a double chin. And as we get older and we start to lose some of the elasticity in our skin, and look at the results that she's gotten here from the before after. And this is, this is not surgery. This is just doing these facial exercises in the chin area with a prescribed methodology that works. And then in the bottom right, she wrote into us about the under eye bags, the overall puffiness she was having. And she has worked so diligently on her practice and was so thrilled to be getting rid of under eye bags, to have a less bloated face and just have overall toning. So would it be worth it if all it took was 10 minutes a day of facial exercises to get similar results to all of these women? We're looking here at all different ages, different skin types, and different problems. How would you ladies feel knowing you could be one of our next success stories? Is practicing, I ask you, is practicing 10 minutes a day worth it? If all that it took was following a step-by-step blueprint for 10 minutes a day, would that be worth it to get these results? I'm seeing a lot of people writing in that these are amazing results and they're fabulous. And I agree. And I know you do, Fumiko. I know it just warms your heart every single day when you see these kind of results. And some of these pictures, as we were putting together this presentation, I hadn't even seen them before. And because we get so many, and it's like, I'm always feel so grateful and still somewhat amazed every time I see the pictures that people send in. And it really is possible. Like, could you see yourself looking at your before and after pictures 3 months from now and being one of these success stories? Because these women are no different from Fumiko, myself, or you who is listening to us right now. They're no different. They just they had the blueprint and they spent the 10 minutes a day.
And also what makes me so happy is the confidence and how they feel about themselves. When I read that is like a priceless. I feel so grateful and excited at the same time. And I just can't say, this doesn't work for people. It works. And it doesn't matter any age, any race, and younger, older, doesn't matter.
I know.
Yeah.
So do you see how face exercises work for any age, skin type, ethnicity, and problem area? Because we all have skin and we all have muscles in our face, and that's the commonality that makes it work for everybody. So do you think you could do this? And can you see yourself getting these results? So please give me a 1 in the chat box if you think you could actually do this. And then we're going to move on to secret number 2. Yes, I'm getting some 1s. It's definitely would be worth it. I could see myself doing it. Yes, it absolutely is, especially when you know you can incorporate it into so many of your daily chores. So are you ready for secret number 2? Who is excited to learn more about skincare? So what we're going to tell you right now is why jumping on the next skincare trend will actually set you up to fail, and your skin suffers because of it. So Fumiko, do you want to tell everyone about how that one comment from your friend's mom
Mhm.
many years ago set you on a path of lower self-esteem and diminish that?
Yes. Now, almost 50, age 50, I get lots of compliments. Oh, your skin is so nice and you look so young. But when I was 13, I started getting pimples starting from my forehead, and then I was able to cover it and then spread all over my face. My face was really red. Even my junior high school friends said that too. Even now, like, oh, your skin was pretty bad. So in high school, my skin was looking a little better. No acne, but lots of scars. And then one of my friends' mom commented on my skin in front of me. She said, "Oh, Miko, you're cute, kind of cute, but your skin is bad." And she told me I was only 15. And that really, I think I feel that my blood went just so boiling and I felt embarrassed because I could not do anything. I already was self-conscious, but hearing that directly from adult, like, oh, you're cute, but your skin is bad. It really, really made me embarrassed. And I started wearing lots of makeup. And I didn't have a confidence actually until I hit 40. Even 40, 45, that's when I started getting compliments. So that was it. My history starts that early age. And oh my goodness, look at that. I was 18 on the left picture. I already had lots of makeup and I covered myself up and I just could not be no makeup. I had to wear makeup every single day. And that was me. And that right picture is also me. And look at that. I can't believe it. But I could not even go outside. Just to go outside with that makeup on. Because I was so hurt. I was embarrassed with my skin. My skin was okay, I think, in retrospect. But my confidence was gone after that comment from my mom, my mom. And I felt like my skin never gonna be good. So I tried everything I could think of. One is makeup, and I covered myself up. Yep.
I remember seeing these photos for the first time, Fumiko, and I had to do a triple take and try to find you in the photo. I just thought, is she really in this photo? I did not even recognize you.
Yeah,
And
I don't wear makeup anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the only ways that you knew how to cope with it at that point in your journey. And it was what you used to do. You would buy all this makeup and these skincare products. And I know that along that journey, you realize that there is no shortage to skincare trends. In fact, if you Google it, you will find over 9 million results. Now, okay, there's no way that someone can try 9 million skincare trends. I'm sure there's more than that. Because ultimately, your skin and what works for it doesn't change. The whole idea, the philosophy of exercise, that doesn't change. That's not a trend. So how is it possible that every single one of these trends would work? And by definition of a trend, they're there for a moment and then gone. So it's almost like saying, you don't have to move the muscles in your body to get results. Just use this new gadget or this new trick. So I definitely understand how we all get sucked into these, and it's not your fault when you get sucked into it, into so many of these trends, because we live in this world where social media today, it's a non-stop barrage of celebrity endorsements. And oftentimes they're just being paid for advertising products that they don't actually use themselves. It's very easy to get distracted and caught up in the noise. I'm wondering if any of you have ever found yourself buying a product just because you saw a celebrity maybe on Instagram or like somebody here using that product. Could anybody relate to that experience? I know that most women can at some point in their lives. And it doesn't have to be this way. If you're here with us today, it's likely that you're already looking for a natural solution and that you believe in health and beauty in a natural way from the inside out. And you know that that is the best route to go, as opposed to spending money on chemicals and quick fixes, because what you put on your face gets absorbed into your body. And this is actually less complicated than you might think. So I'm wondering how many of you listening ended up finding Face Yoga Method or Fumiko amidst all the noise online, all the barrage of social media, because you knew that Fumiko had a more natural and holistic approach to health and to aging. You want to write in the chat box if maybe that's how you found us. I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, somebody's written in, it feels like we're unveiling such an industrial lie with the most obvious truth. It's true. It's hard. There's just so much noise out there, and it's sometimes really difficult to sort through it. But there is a natural way. There is a better way, and it is a lot easier than you think. And you can actually use, once you understand how to use them, you can use everyday ingredients, natural ingredients, probably that are sitting in your refrigerator right now, from Fumiko's 100 times splash face wash, which is just water, to the yogurt face mask, the egg white mask. There's a hot towel treatment, very simple clay mask you can make at home. Loads of DIY recipes. There's so much you can do with what you already have, and it doesn't have to be expensive or time consuming. So some of you already have some of these items in your kitchen. I bet some of you have honey, you have cucumbers, you have eggs or avocado. Yes, I know. Yes, many of you have these items in your kitchen already. So these are some of the health and skincare techniques that Fumiko performs on herself. And people are shocked when they realize how few products that Fumiko actually uses when they see her doing things like the 100 times face splash and the avocado mask. And I know, Fumiko, you believe so strongly that it's not just what you put on your face, it's what you put in your body. And that's why every time I go out to dinner with you, the first thing you ask the waiter for is a cup of hot water. And you really do adhere to that practice. I see it all the time. And you put healthy food in your body, and that it creates a holistic approach to life. Because what you put in your body shows up on your face. So I know that for some of you listening that this, and I sometimes think the same thing. It's like, oh, wow, well, this is almost unrealistic to think of working out the time when I have to do this, or prepping a meal in advance. It always sounds so good in practice, but not, it sounds so good in practice or on paper, but in person, it can be a little more challenging. Here's Fumiko doing, I know you make so much Japanese food, and you make what are those are those spinach muffins that you make with Nina?
It was kale and spinach. Yeah.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And I know what makes it work for you is because your philosophy is that when you prepare meals, you want to have fun and bring nutritional value to it. And so you have that opportunity. That's like your family time, is making something fun with Nina. And it's not about giving up everything that you love in terms of indulgences and treats. It's not about giving, I know, Fumiko, you still love wine, you still love your chocolate. It's just about incorporating these long-term lasting habits that you can do with your family and make them fun, but still have indulgences. And it's easier than you think when you put it all together and go on a journey of creating great skin through the way you treat the muscles on your face and through the way you treat your nutrition. Because when you put that all together, it is a recipe for glowing skin. And if we can do it, and all these other ladies that we've shown you today, if we can all do it, then you can do it too, because ultimately we're all in the same position of leading busy lives, having our plates full. But it's just a matter of understanding, having a blueprint and understanding how to incorporate it into your daily life, because these members are just like you. And so are their results with the skincare results that they're getting. And I understand that skepticism is okay. Like, it's normal to be skeptical about it. And I'm going to read you, this is once again just a smattering of social media posts we get. And in the bottom right-hand corner, she wrote, "I must confess, the first time for me with the yogurt mask, I was a bit skeptical. But I read all the good things about yogurt for your skin, and here I am." And we've got even more testimonials here. I'm going to take a look at a few more. I mean, how would you like your eggs? On my face, please. Wow, I've had this mask on my face for about 3 minutes and my face feels like it's frozen. So neat. And I'm not going to say the name, but I know there's a mask flying around out there that does freeze your face that is far more expensive than a couple eggs. And it's not that that's a bad thing. It's just sometimes it's easier to pull out a couple eggs and not have to pay all that money. So you're probably thinking, that works for you and for these ladies, but I don't have the time to do all of these masks from scratch. So do you have any of these ingredients in your refrigerator? You might be thinking, I have them, but I don't have the time. And the truth is, when Fumiko makes an omelet or she's having yogurt for breakfast, sometimes she just puts it on her face. Do you want to tell them a quick story about that, Fumiko?
Oh yeah. So, oh yeah, here I am. I can't help myself because it feels so good, and especially when I look a little tired, just put the yogurt, my mouth, and on my face, and I put a little bit of green tea powder because that's antioxidant and also really clear my complexion. So I did it, and my family are so used to it; they don't even care. My daughter Nina says like, "Oh, Mama is doing her face," and that's it. And so simple. After that, just rinse it off and do 100 times face brush washing. Bam! I feel so much more cleaner, more awake, and my face loves it. I have to say, it's much better than all the expensive creams I have spent in my life. Yeah, simple.
Okay. So you heard us talk about all of these natural skincare products, and you might be thinking, do you ever use store-bought skincare products, or do you just do everything yourself? And the answer is yes, we do use. Fumiko created her own line of products. There's great ingredients in store-bought products. We're not saying to never use that. And what the skincare line does is that actually complements everything that Fumiko teaches. So it's not like it has to be one or the other. It's not like it has to be just no store-bought and homemade only, or store-bought and no homemade. It's just finding that balance, and you can create a hybrid because this good skincare really does complement a good face yoga practice. So you might be thinking, I don't have to do face exercises if I do a really great skincare routine. And the truth is, remember when we first started today, and we told you about Fumiko's bad complexion and how face exercise evolved into the face yoga method? She had tried just skincare, and that was not enough to get her the results she wanted. And that's when the face yoga method got developed. So she had spent a lot of money on facials and products and realized that exercises are the foundation that you build your skincare routine on. But you still have skincare. So does this make sense? Do you see now why you do need both things? You do want both things. You're still taking care of the skin on top of the muscle. And do you see how skincare is it's the perfect complement to face exercises, having great skincare? Because skincare is meant to be fun, accessible, natural, effective, and easy. And we're not saying that going to a facialist isn't effective. That can be very effective, but it's also, is it long-term sustainable and affordable? Sometimes it just takes a big chunk out of the day to get there, to have the appointment, and to be there. And maybe you want to spend your time and your resources doing something more simple. So we always look at sustainability as we build out the method and the practices to make sure that it's accessible to everyone. And let's just take a look at what Jenna Lee had to say about one of these homemade recipes that she actually tried and got really interesting results, and was able to give us a no makeup selfie video for somebody that has been struggling with acne. And I just love her willingness to come forward and be honest about her.
I started using the Facebook group, and I started working and communicating with all of these amazing women, and I saw them posting their faces on Facebook and, looking for tweaks. I remember taking my first selfie and I was absolutely mortified because I was like, oh my God, I look horrible. I look so ugly. This is awful. I cannot believe I'm doing this. And then I reminded myself that there were a bunch of people, thousands of people on Facebook. And the support that I got from everybody was truly so amazing. And I just felt so much love, and I felt so supported, and I was able to do these what felt like completely naked pictures of putting myself really vulnerable up there. And so I went through the challenge. I did my before and afters, and I had one of the members actually do my photos next to each other so I could see the side-by-side comparison. And I literally started to cry after seeing the results because it was truly transformational. While I was doing it, I could feel the difference. I felt different inside, and I knew I could see some differences on the outside, but it was the feeling different inside that really the most important part to me. In fact, so much so that I'm sitting here taking a video that I'm going to send for people to look at, and I have absolutely not one stitch of makeup on. I have done my exercises today, and I did put on some oils that I'm using, but I have no makeup on my face. And I am sitting here doing this, and I'm not feeling completely self-conscious, which in itself is such an amazing gift, especially for someone who has been struggling with breakouts almost for my entire life. I go a difference with the clearness in my skin, and I just feel amazing walking around, and I feel comfortable enough to actually walk outside even without makeup. So I am so happy with the results that I've received.
Okay, I know you love that from Jenna Lee. It's just once again, another gift to be getting that kind of feedback. And I want Fumiko, what did you want to say about that?
Well, like you said beautifully, that makes me almost teary because she had the acne issue like I had, and I know how it feels. It feels like you can't go out, almost like you can't go out because not because people are looking at you, but you can't let yourself go out because you are so embarrassed yourself, and it shouldn't be like that. And I totally had that for so many years after the comment I got from my friend's mother. And I love to hear that she got the confidence, and she looks absolutely lovely and lively and enjoying her life. So thank you.
Remember that Jenna was in your shoes, for those listening, just a couple months ago, and she was unsure as you might be. So does that help you see how simple this can be? And how would you feel knowing that you have the power in your hands to change your face and change your life from the inside out? It's super exciting. And I love Jenna's ability to be able to now come out and share this with people when she was so not willing to before. But I'm going to keep this moving. And are you ready for secret number 3? Who wants to hear about Fumiko's #1 time management trick that lets her turn every day into a good face day without feeling like you have to try too hard? So if you remember back to Fumiko's desires of freedom and family at the beginning of this story, those were her core values. And she moved back to the US, and she got married and had a child, and she has the freedom in the family that she wants now. And now she has more time to create a balanced life than she actually did in Japan when she was running around like a puppet at everybody's command, yet she has the life she wanted. So how did this happen? How was she able to make that shift from what everybody else wanted to what she wanted and still have the time to enjoy it? So do you want to know how she did it? It happened with mind training. And Fumiko, I'm going to let you talk in a minute about that. So this is a day in your life, and I know that's a silly picture you pose for, and it probably looks not different from many of you watching. There's carpooling to school, taking care of her daughter, making meals, working, chauffeuring, and I know that ever since we've started the face yoga method, that the number one objection that you get from people is that they feel they just don't know how they would work it into their day or have time. And in fact, doing face exercises for more than 10 minutes a day, that's not even recommended. We're not asking you to go to the gym for an hour. It's not even recommended. It's kind of in the same way that you wouldn't exercise your body all day. So life is busy. We get it. I'm sure many of you can relate to this octo mom here. And do you want to know 2 little things that have helped Fumiko do it all? Fumiko?
Yep. So many people think I'm a superwoman. I am not at all. So what I've been doing is self-discipline, but time management. And I've been reading a book on how I can balance my life. Because the reason I left Japan is I wanted to have a life. I wanted to create a life I wanted. Freedom and a work, and then having a family. So how I did, I have to really find out how I can balance. So time management and prioritize things. What's important? What I really wanted to do, not like what I had to do. So I train my mind, meditate. So I'm not a Wonder Woman, but there is a philosophy. Maria can talk about it.
Yes, so we're going to go into this. If you remember how important that family is to Fumiko, which I'm sure for many of you, that is a top priority. And in Japan, she didn't have the time to even have a family, to create one. And now she has all of these things. Here's Fumiko with her daughter and with her mother-in-law and her husband. And these are recent photos of the time that she's had to spend with her family. And you get this ability because she's better at prioritizing. But where does that come from? It's not some like magical tool like that, when people say time management, I know sometimes people have an adverse reaction because it's like every minute of your day is managed down to the second. And that is not fun. So how does this happen? It happens through training your focus, through actually stepping away from all the craziness. And for many people, that comes in a different form. And these are just some of the methodologies that both Fumiko and myself use on a regular and sometimes semi-regular basis to give ourselves that clearness and centeredness of mind to actually get done everything we need to do without feeling like it's hard, without feeling like we have to work all the time. And taking the time to step back and training your focus, it's actually an act of self-love because you cannot give what you don't have. There's a saying that says, and I really so strongly believe in this, that you can never get poor enough or sick enough to make somebody else rich or healthy. And there seems to be this underlying belief in society sometimes that if you sacrifice yourself more, that it's going to benefit other people. And in fact, it is just the opposite, because an act of self-love is filling you up so you can give, and you cannot give what you don't have. And Sherry was able to talk about this perfectly. Another one of Fumiko's students was able to talk about this perfectly. I'm going to play a quick video from her here on how it changed the way she was showing up.
The thing that surprised me the most was there was a few things. Mostly how the actual poses and exercises and practice of face yoga method made me feel. Not just physically in my face. I've seen a huge amount of changes, which I'm very proud of. But the way that the practice made me feel about myself is kind of indescribable. It's kind of like you have to see it to believe it, or feel it to believe it.
So have you ever felt like Sherry? Can you relate to that? Like having that, getting to a place where you actually have that centeredness of mind, where you're present. I wonder if anybody out there can relate to that, to getting to that place. And you might be thinking right around now, does meditation actually work? And isn't that just another trend? And I'm going to say the truth is that, speaking for myself, and I am someone who does meditate, that yes, it does absolutely work. Here's a picture of Fumiko meditating while she travels. And I know you practice it on a daily basis, and I do as well, although I do slip from time to time. We are human. But what ultimately it is it's exercise for the brain. And when you stop practicing, you notice that you aren't doing it anymore. And I want to say that meditation is not always what people think it is. It doesn't have to be sitting in silence for an hour. Oftentimes I meditate when I take my dog for a walk, and I just control my thoughts and drop out of all thought and just stay present. And that is a form of meditation. And so you might be thinking, as we talk about this, I believe that this kind of thing works and it can get me the results, but I don't have the time. So we're back to the time issue again. And the truth is that it can be done anywhere. Like I just said, here's Fumiko doing it literally in the middle of the lake while her husband takes care of her daughter, and they look like they're relaxing too. And like I mentioned, I do it walking my dog in the morning. It's where you find, it could be watering your plants. It's where you find that moment, but you're consciously stepping outside of your mind while you do it, which gives you the ability to bring so much more into the rest of your life. And I know some of you might be thinking, well, I don't even have the patience to do that. And if that's the case, then I will say that that is when you need it the most. And Inger, one of Fumiko's students, found that so well and summed it up beautifully. Inger, I love her. I think she's in Sweden. And I love watching her because she just has the most joyful energy. And she came from a place of a really stressed out environment and decided she was going to make this conscious change, not only in her face, but in her life.
Hi everybody, I'm Inger from Sweden. I'm 51 years old. In April, I decided to make a big change in my life. I quitted my job as a general manager with 200 employees. I really needed to invest time in myself. I started to eat healthy, to work out, but most of all, to surround me with people that gives me energy instead of drains me from it. So when I came across the facial yoga method, it was meant to be. It was so obvious to me that I had to work out my face in the same way as my body to stay fit, stay healthy, and to stay young. Thank you, Fumiko, for sharing the method with us. Now I understand how my body, face, and mind work together. I've been doing the poses 1 to 3 times a day, depending on how much time I've had. I ran a little bit behind, but with all the support from you women out there, I catched up again. The best part for being in the challenge is you amazing ladies, Fumiko, Denise, and you beautiful women out there who's been supporting me and sharing each other and just open up and being honest. It feels like you are my friends even if I've never met you in real life. And you give me so much energy. I'm going to make facial yoga to a daily routine. I keep on doing it every day now. I started all over from day one. I make some more poses depending on what area in the face I want to work on. I've been doing the yogurt mask and the egg mask, and I just love them. They are so much more effective and less expensive than my ordinary masks. I also love the 20-minute walk. I'm out on my hour walk now. And the hot water. I even replaced my good coffee with hot water now. It feels so much more natural and healthy.
So do you see how this is a mind, body, spirit combination that creates the results that so many people are looking for? I love Inger's little walk. I feel like I'm going on a walk in the snow with her, and she just makes me feel happy because she's so happy. But do you see how self-care is not selfish, because it radiates out to everybody else? And when you're able to train your focus and manage your time and put in what's really important and fill yourself up, it actually starts to transform your life. And so we're back to the 3 secrets. So we just went over them. The secret number 1 of the face exercises, and how we're all dealing with the same skin sagging frustrations. And secret number 2, why jumping on the next skincare trend is actually going to set you up for fail and disappointment. And secret number 3, how you can turn every day into a good face day. And you might be thinking at this point that, oh my gosh, even if I modeled everything that works and it's working for Fumiko, that how am I going to get this all perfect? It's a lot of things to do. It's a lot of things. And I feel like I have to do it perfect. But when you model what works, it's not hard to have success. And even if you mess this up, you can't do it wrong. It doesn't mean everything has to be done. You just start. So it's actually about starting to take action and starting to see tiny, tiny results. What kind of results do you think that you could achieve if you improved just 1% a day? So how different would your life look a year from now? Because a year comes and goes really, really quickly. And can you imagine if you could just make 1% difference every single day, how that would stack upon and create a full mind, body, spirit connection and getting results both internally and externally? So let me ask you a question. Now that we've covered a lot and we've been on a little over an hour, would you agree that this has been time well spent? I know we have gone through a lot, and we just had so much that we wanted to share with you to give you a full understanding. But I would love it if you agree that it is time well spent, if you would just put a little 1 in the chat box. And while you're doing that, there's some of you who may even be feeling like this guy, I'm overwhelmed. There's so much. Are any of you feeling like that? So if you are, would you like me to spend, Fumiko and I, to spend about 10 minutes to show you how to implement everything we've discussed so far? So it's just simple and easy and just fits right into your life with a blueprint. So are you excited? Fumiko, are you excited to see what we're about to show you?
Yeah, I'm ready.
To incorporate this whole blueprint into your life without feeling overwhelmed. So Fumiko, you wanna talk a little bit about like how you feel about that? I'm gonna bring you up here, like the blueprint we're about to go into.
Yes, because I want to approach people's life not just superficial level. I want to look good. I want you to look good, but I want you to feel good, because I used to sacrifice myself for the family. And I always said, even Maria, like, I don't have a time. I don't have a time to relax. I don't have a time to meditate. I don't have a time because I am so busy. Do you feel that way sometimes, people? But what I found out is that if I'm not happy, my family are not happy. If I'm really stressed out and not even saying, but giving off the energy, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing and sacrificing my time for you, family. They don't react the way I want them to react. So I changed my mindset completely. What's important? What's my goal, ultimate goal? And then things just start changing right away. I feel so much calmer and I have more time. And you will see what's internal change affect your external changes, but not only that, around the people around you start acting differently. So that's what I want to show. So you ready, Maria? You can show.
Ready. I'm ready. So we're going to take our 10 minutes now and we're going to show you how to implement everything we've discussed so far. And it's with the 6-week face toning boot camp, which has been quite some time in the making. And it comes from thousands of hours of training and feedback. And what is the 6-week face toning boot camp? Let's talk about it. So let me tell you what it's comprised of and how it's going to work, or how it does work. What it is it's a full program that teaches you how to, it's a blueprint for bringing this into your life on a daily basis. And it's videos that go along with a daily check sheet. So this is a look at the sheet. It's 6 full weeks of facial exercises, with each week dedicated to a different facial area. So you're not feeling overwhelmed. Like, what am I doing? Where am I going? It's super blueprinted and laid out day by day with no more than 10 minutes a day. And we recently had Sonia finish a 6-week boot camp, and I'm going to bring up a little video of her talking about her results after she did. Oh, actually, I think I have, what do I have? I have a slide of Sonia. I'm sorry. There we go. I have a slide of Sonia. So she's in Cambodia and she recently finished the boot camp. And she said, I had been following the face yoga method for a while before deciding to take the plunge. I'm exposed to a lot of sun, pollution, and chlorine every day because of my job. I'm a swimming teacher. I really wanted to try and reverse some of the aging signs around my eyes. And I'm astounded by the results. Thank you so much. And I'm going to say the results speak for themselves. If you just look at Sonia's eyes from one picture to the left, or from the left to the right, from one picture to the other. So how do you feel knowing that this is possible for you too? Like, how many of you out there feel helpless in facing the aging process? And I want you to realize that it's not just Sonia and some of the others we showed you before who got these results. This is Ita, who's in the Czech Republic, and she wrote us in with her pictures and said, I love it. It became a part of my daily routine. I practice face yoga. I walk 8,000 steps a day, and I take more care of myself. I like knowing that the power to improve and change my life is in my own hands. Big thanks to Fumiko, her team, and the Facebook support group. And what I love about this is that Eva took the power into her own hands. She didn't let herself just be a victim to life and life passing her by. She took it upon herself to do something about this. So you might still be thinking, okay, it works for Eva, it works for Sonia, but maybe not for me. And I want you to remember that Eva and Sonia were once in your shoes before they started the boot camp. And so was Yang. And Yang, I have to say that her results really, I had to do a triple take. I love her results. And she said she works out 6 days a week. So she's always felt in control over my body, but never my face as I've gotten older. I've always tried to live my life in the most natural way. So when I found the face yoga method, it completely changed my perspective. I finally found a way to age on my own terms. So her results are phenomenal, like all over toning after a 6-week boot camp. It's just, I love seeing this. Fumiko, do you remember this one that we got from Yang?
I think she's actually 30 days. She did a 30-day.
Yeah, she did. Well, she did about 6 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, yeah, she was actually amazed because she kept taking before after photos and then 1 week after, and then she couldn't believe it. And I, like you said, I could not even believe it either. Is it the same person? But skin tone changed completely. And she knows that the importance of body exercise like I was before. And she got it. And I think she wants to be a teacher now.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
And just in case there are any men out there, which I hope there are listening, and you might be thinking, well, these are all women. Does this work for men too? And I will say to that, well, do men have muscles in their face just like women do? Then yes, you just need the muscles in your face and your skin. But Stephen, one of our male practitioners, I am going to play a quick little video from Stephen on his experience with the face yoga method for.
And I was attracted to yours because I think they're quite simple and I think that they're quite effective. So you have a simplicity and an effectiveness. And then I could combine that with my own practice myself as my own yoga practice, and also share those with the people who come to my classes without having to explain something really elaborate. Because some of the methods I've seen for facial exercise are quite elaborate and difficult to explain, difficult to do. So yours seems, it has an elegance to it, which I think is good. And it's yoga, but for the face.
Yeah.
I love it.
Exactly. So it does. It works if you have muscles in your face and you have skin on your face. It does work for you. It works for men. It works for women. It works for all ethnicities, as we've seen, and all ages. People that have had Botox and haven't had. It's just like exercising. Despite the shape your body's in, you can always start wherever you're at. So at this point, you might be thinking, I've never practiced face yoga before. So don't worry. That's why we have a step-by-step blueprint and an entire support team here for you. And this is why we created the 6-week face toning boot camp. And in that boot camp, you get the 6-week face toning boot camp, which is a $15.95 value. But you also get, including the boot camp, for the next 2 months, access to our new, just released Face Yogis Insiders Club. And we created this Insiders Club because we realized how important it was to bring in every aspect to a holistic approach to aging, to health, and to beauty. As we've learned over these past couple years from thousands of students, what really worked, and you saw today some of these women talk about what really worked. It was the connection between the face, mind, and body. And that is why we created the Insiders Club, where we're going to focus on the mind and the body, especially, and how those connect to the face, and bring in new, easy to digest content on a weekly basis that helps you tie your practice together. And it's all part of the 6-week face toning boot camp that you get full access to for the next 2 months when you join us in the boot camp starting today. And inside the club, there's face lessons. There's Fumiko, not only are the lessons there, but her giving you live lessons. There's mind-body lessons, mind lessons based on neuroscience that are very easy to take in and to absorb and to integrate into your life and your practice. There's body lessons with good nutrition. There's masterminds and hot seats where we're actually going to be working with the students, both Fumiko and myself, with people that are in the club and bringing them out in a hot seat on a live webinar just like this, and really working with them to get the results that they want. And when you're part of the Insiders Club, you get a lifetime discount to our entire Face Yoga Method skincare collection. You don't have to wait for sales or any sort of codes. And you also, when you're a member for a year, you get an annual goodie bag of treats that we've put together for you to help support you in your life and in your face yoga method practice. And you get access to the insiders community of like-minded, just really powerful women that are out to make a change in their life from a really natural, holistic point of view. And you'll be able to learn new face exercises that we haven't even released anywhere. Fumiko has a couple advanced ones that we don't have videos on that we're going to have in there. And I'm going to work on a bunch of neuroscience lessons with you that have been transformative in my own life. You'll lose weight, you'll tone your body, and you'll nourish a healthier lifestyle. And this will not come with this concerted effort of pushing a boulder up the hill. Because sometimes change just feels like, oh my gosh, I have to push, push, push. Yet transformation is the ultimate change, and it comes from a moment-to-moment approach instead of a push. And tomorrow, we're actually doing our very first mastermind for the Insiders Club. I'm so excited. And Fumiko, I know you have something super. You just want to do a really quick sneak tell on what you're planning for this first mastermind?
Yeah. You know, before the exercise, I realized that so many tight spots on the face and the body, if you release attention from that spot, you're going to get so much amazing result inside out. So that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. I'm going to show you, and we're going to practice together. That's the best part.
I love it, love it, love it. I'm super excited because I don't even know all of these techniques that you just, finessed while you were in Japan. So in addition to that, you're going to get rid of your fear of aging, your insecurities around your facial areas, like you've heard some of these women, Jenna, any confidence and self-esteem issues we're going to work on. I want to see you, Fumiko wants to see you transform into the best version of yourself where you know that you are perfect and whole exactly as you are. You can get rid of all these diet, weight loss kind of things that hold you in a strict regimen, and in turn, release a lot of stress, worry, and anxiety, overthinking, overplanning, overcommitting. This is not about some crazy kind of thing where every minute of your day is planned. And get rid of some overpriced devices or products you might have sitting around in your closet. And very, very importantly, get rid of that reluctancy to open yourself up and be vulnerable and share your story, because doing that, you are going to see what a transformative effect that has for people around you, like these women that were so willing to share with us today. So for those of you who are asking, what if I am already a Face Yogi Insider? Because we did a little quick opening not too long ago. And so don't worry. If you're already a Face Yogi Insider, we're going to credit your account for 2 full months to the Insiders Club. So moving on, what happens after 2 months is that you will have access to everything else in the boot camp. If you decide not to stay in the Insiders Club, that's fine. You'll still have the face toning 6-week boot camp and everything that comes with it, which I'm about to go in and show you. And if you don't use Facebook, don't worry. We have everything off of Facebook. We have a Facebook community, but for those of you who don't want to be part of that, that is so okay with us. This is a private website that is set up to serve you from A to Z. And if you're not good with the computer, we made the club super easy to navigate, because we don't want your head caught up in computer issues or navigation issues. And we've worked really hard to make this as simple and straightforward, just what do I do today sort of program where there are no mistakes. You can't get it wrong. And we have our entire team here to support you. And everybody on our team, you see the first 2 pictures are Fumiko and myself. And then we've got this whole team of beautiful women spread out all over the world in different time zones. And we've got multiple languages in here too. And we're all here to support you on Facebook or in customer support or in tech support, whatever it is that you need once you're in the 6-week boot camp and the Insiders Club. So it's not something to get concerned about when it comes to technicalities. And now some of you might be thinking, what if I'm not able to participate in the live masterminds? Because like I said, we're doing our first one tomorrow morning. So exciting. And we have members on all continents, and we're very mindful of different time zones. And we're rescheduling the masterminds. We're recording them, but we're also scheduling them at different times every month, because we'll be doing these on a regular basis on the Insiders Club. And we're picking different times of the day, different times of the week, to try to accommodate as many people as we can to be there live. And we will always have a replay. So to reiterate, to keep going, what you're going to get is you get the 6-week face toning boot camp and 2 free months of the Insiders Club. And what else do you need? You need skincare to get that one more layer on that building blocks. And for that, we have a module inside the 6-week toning face camp, or face yoga boot camp, face toning boot camp. It's called Reclaim Your Glow. This is a module that comes with the actual boot camp. And we're going to show you how to get rid of this kind of picture where you're covering yourself up in makeup and reclaim your glow with this module. And in this module, we are going to go through so many of the things that these women today talked about when you saw their video testimonials, through the morning routine, the evening routine, the secret to clearing your pores, how to detox your skin, how to correctly apply moisturizing cream, homemade masks, creams, and sprays, and nutrition for your skin. So we're going to take a look at skincare from the inside out and get your glow back. And this, we picked this gorgeous picture of Catherine, who I know I showed you earlier. She's the multitasker, because she did get her glow back, and she is glowing in these pictures. And she's in Italy. She's 58. I think she's 59 now, actually, she said in that little post at the top. And she said, Fumiko, my results are your results. I am so glad I was surfing the web that day when I saw one of your videos. It changed my face on a very small budget. I love what you do. Thank you so much. We love Catherine because she is such a great spirit to have in our community. And Jana wrote us in from the Czech Republic, and she says, I love the face yoga method and was obsessed with the exercises, even at work. My boss and coworkers saw me doing the symmetrical mouth with a pencil in my mouth. My skin condition has improved, my pores and frown line diminished. I am forever grateful to Fumiko and her team. I love hearing. She probably made a lot more friends at work doing these ridiculous exercises with pencils in her mouth. So what you're going to get when you join the 6-week face toning boot camp is the 6-week boot camp, which gives you a day-by-day blueprint that you can access anytime. The Face Yogis Insiders Club for 2 months, and the Reclaim Your Glow Skincare Secrets module, which is inside of the 6-week face toning boot camp. Okay, I know you're thinking, what more do you need? What's that one other element that we talked about? It's the train your focus. So you can do it the hard way, and you can have problems concentrating, feeling as if I'm not worth it, fighting against your age, constantly doubting yourself, burnt out, resentful, feeling sluggish without having a vision or a purpose. Or you can train your focus, because your thoughts and your feelings are actually in your control. And in the Train Your Focus module, which is part of the face toning, the 6-week face toning boot camp, we have the exercises on how you actually start changing your brain and your focus. I'm not going to go too deep into it now, but we have the worksheets, we have the whole program laid out, because we want you to get holistic results from the inside out. And your brain is capable of making these changes. It's called neuroplasticity, and it is proven you can actually change your focus and hence change the results that you are getting in your life. Now, Elizabeth wrote into us from Switzerland, and she said, after raising my children and seeing them go, helping my husband overcome cancer, having divorced, moving to a different country, and changing my job, fighting and overcoming breast cancer, all of this in the last 7 years. How many of you can relate to some of those things? She says, I know that this is my time now. And Fumiko's method helped me broaden my yoga practice. I feel loved and cared for. Thank you with all of my heart. She feels loved and cared for because she started with herself and the way she was treating herself and her mind. And Karen wrote us in from Canada, and she wrote, the face yoga method works. It has helped release the tension and stress in my face. I now have less headaches, literally. But most importantly, Fumiko's guidance has allowed me to open my heart and mind about my self-image, which I know, once again, Fumiko, is, I want you just to talk for a second on all this kind of feedback, because I know that you get teary every time you get that, because it's a transformational change.
Yes, and I didn't expect this when I started. I just wanted to change my outlook. That was it. But the more I do, the more I see these changes from other women, the more I want to spread the word out, because it's a life changing. And that's why I say change your face, change your life. Simple as moving the face muscles, and also time management and changing the way you think. So I want to combine everything and give it to you.
Yes, yes. So could you see yourself getting any of these changes? Can you relate to what any of these women are saying, from, divorces to having kids to moving across the world? We all, as women, face the same struggles in life. Some of them are different, but they're, as a whole, it's the same struggle across the board. It's just pick which one is yours. So can you see yourself connecting to any of these women and their stories? And most importantly, can you see yourself getting the kind of results that they are getting if you had a blueprint like the Face Yoga 6-week face toning boot camp? And so let me reiterate again, what you're going to get is the 6-week face toning boot camp, the Face Yogis Insiders Club for 2 free months, the Reclaim Your Glow skincare secrets, the Train Your Focus project to really learn how to use your mind to bring this all together. And what's the very last thing you need to make this all work? And this module is going to show you how to get that time back, because most of us walk around saying we never have enough time. And for that, we have the Wonder Woman's philosophy, because every single one of you is a Wonder Woman. There is no doubt about it. If you're here, if you're showing up for your life, and you have all of this within you. And in the Wonder Woman's philosophy, we give you exact blueprints of how you can break down what is really going on in your day and how to pick the most important things, and always making yourself at the top of that list. And this isn't an overnight, it's not an overnight transition. It is something that requires a mind shift. And when you make that shift in your mind, though, it's transformational, and everything else comes into play. So the Wonder Woman's philosophy is a module in the 6-week toning bootcamp, and you can do it. You are, right now, you might think you're another face in the crowd while you look out over all of these testimonials we just showed you and all these women. But I want you to remember that at one point they were in your shoes. At one point they were exactly where you are right now. And in a few short months from now, even in 6 weeks, this transformation can be yours. It's not exclusive to just the women we showed you. So what you're going to get today is the 6-week face toning bootcamp with 2 months to the Face Yogis Insiders Club. And inside of the bootcamp is the Reclaim Your Glow skincare secrets module, the Train Your Focus project, where we work on your mind and where it's going, and the Wonder Woman's philosophy. So if all of this together, if all this did was tone your face and streamline your neckline, if that's all it did, would it be worth it? If all it did was help you reclaim that youthful glow, would it be worth it? Or if all it did was give you the ability to master your mind, overcome doubt, lack of self-esteem, and confidence, would it be worth it? I want you to seriously ask yourself that question and really take a second to put yourself in that mind frame. What if this was all it did? Maybe just one of these things on the screen right now. Would that be worth it to you in a 6-week period of time to start to see the transformations like the women we have seen today? So what is changing your face and changing the way you view things and connecting that to your mind, body, spirit? What is that worth to you? How much is that worth? How much would you actually pay to tone your face and reclaim your glow? Think about that for a second. It's taken Fumiko 15 years to perfect the face yoga method to what it is today. And I know you feel more confident, Fumiko, at 49, about to turn 50, and you love telling people you're about to turn 50, and you're not covering your face with makeup like in your 20s. It's taken her over that period of time and us working with thousands of women to develop what we feel is the most holistic approach to actually making the transformational change. And you can see why over 800,000 women have started to practice face exercises. It's taken off in the last couple of years like wildfire, because when something really works, word does spread organically. And there's a reason people are doing it. So can you see why over $2,000 to make that kind of transformation is an actually good value? It's not, money just sits in your account. Money's energy. And if you were to put that out to make that transformation, can you see why that's a good value? But because we value our community so much and you are special, what we'd like to offer you is the ability to get started today for just $197. And what we've done, I'm going to go over and reiterate what it is the entire Face Yoga Method 6-week toning bootcamp with all 3 modules in it: the Train Your Focus, the Reclaim Your Glow, and the Wonder Woman's Philosophy are all modules that are inside of this boot camp. And we are starting on a journey together. Although this journey, you can join it at any time, but if you join today, you have all of those modules in it. And you get 2 months of the Face Yogis Insiders Club, which I just want to give a little clarity to. The club is separate from the boot camp, but when you join the boot camp today, you're inside the club for 2 months for free. So to get more details on this, you can just go to the URL. I'm going to put that up in the chat box. You can go to the URL go.faceyogamethod.com bootcamp, and it will give you all of the details. I'm just putting up in your chat box. You should see it. It will have a link, and it will take you straight to the page that gives you all the details of what this entails. So let me just try to make this as clear as possible. So the Insiders Club is an ongoing monthly club that we have just started because we found such a need for it after working in this field for the last 6 years since we started Face Yoga Method. And we have heard and realized how much our mind and our body are connected to what shows up on our face. And so Fumiko and I are having an Insiders Club that brings weekly lessons, hot seats, and masterminds. Every week we're bringing new content into this in one area, and it's digestible, learnable content that will tie into your Face Yoga Method practice. And it's also a community of like-minded women. So that is our new community that we have just created. We're so excited about it. We have our first mastermind, our first live webinar mastermind for it tomorrow morning, and where Fumiko is going to come in and, like she said, bring the releasing stress while you do in your body, actually physically releasing it while you do these exercises. So Fumiko, do you want to talk a little bit more about what this includes and how we created this?
Yes, because I realized that when you approach your body, you have to understand what you want to create and how you're going to feel, because this is just a part of who you are, superficial level, which is important. But if you're not really valuing yourself, and if you're not using your time the way you want to use, or if you're feeling that you're not worth it. Or like me, I used to think I don't have a time. It just shot on my face. And I realized that when I want to get the most benefit on everybody, you have to walk ultimately together so that you really feel a connection. And when there's some clicking, like when it clicked, you change your life. I mean, you transform your life. Like you saw many of these women who shared with their own experience. That can happen to you. So think about it. If you think you want to change something inside, outside, this is for you.
I love it. I love it. I'm so excited to start this this Insiders Club. And what I want to do now is remind you. So at this point in the presentation, you have two choices. Well, your first option is to do nothing and not take this leap of faith into transformation, which is 100% risk-free. And your second option is to take action and give yourself this opportunity, this amazing opportunity, and give yourself permission and put yourself first, knowing that we had you in mind when we created this. We had you in mind with a schedule that works for you, with a blueprint that's easy to take in. Fumiko has spent, I mean, I've seen the work you've gone through, Fumiko, over this past year and a half, just reconfiguring to make it better and better and better. And I love it. It's just, we know what works for people. We know what works to get you the transformation you want. And we're so sure of it that we have a 7-day guarantee on this boot camp. So if you buy today and for any reason you sign up and you don't like it, and it can be 6 days, 23 hours, and 59 minutes from now, just let us know. You can just write to info@Face Yoga Method. We have that team here. We are here listening all the time, and we'll refund your money if you feel in the next 7 days you take a look at it and decide it's not for you. So we do have a guarantee because we're so confident that this is going to work for you. So just to reiterate what it is, it's a 6-week face toning boot camp. And inside of that is the Reclaim Your Glow Skincare Secrets module, the Train Your Focus project, and all the PDFs that you need to keep track on a daily basis, and a Wonder Woman's philosophy. So those are all inside of the 6-week face toning boot camp. And in addition, when you join today, we're giving you 2 months free to the Face Yogis Insiders Club. So you have those first 2 months come with your joining today. And for the first 50 people, we wanted to sweeten the pot for you a little bit. So for the first 50 people, what we're doing is we are adding a special bonus of a workshop that Fumiko and I worked on overcoming stress and anxiety. And we worked on this with Camille, who is on our team. And we go into what actually gets results in overcoming those. And it is a roundtable conversation that's going to show you how to use certain techniques to instantly overcome stress and anxiety. And very importantly, it's going to break down where those actually come from, because we have the power to control that. Yet we somehow live in this society that thinks that these are things that just happen to us. These are not things. Stress and anxiety aren't little goblins that are chasing us around this world. We create them. Therefore, we have the power to obliterate them and get rid of them. So for the first 50 people that join us in this boot camp, and this is the first time we've ever offered this 6-week face toning boot camp, for the first that join us today, you will have access to this overcoming stress and anxiety workshop with Fumiko, myself, and Camille, our trained yoga teacher, and just all around wonderful person, full of wisdom and knowledge at a very young age. So when you join today, what you're going to get is you're going to get 6-week face toning boot camp. And I want you to remember that this is something, when 6 weeks are up, you can go back to the beginning. You'll have the exercises in your cellular memory at that point, but you can go back to the beginning and just go through it again, because it is designed with every area of your face in mind, but with an overall toning for your face. But you can always focus in on one particular area. You're also going to get the Face Yogis Insiders Club. You're going to get 2 months of that for free. So that is an ongoing $37 a month value. But for the first 2 months, we welcome you to come in and try it out and make sure it's right for you. And inside the 6-week face toning bootcamp that you'll always have access to are 3 separate modules. There's the Reclaim Your Glow module, which works on the skincare secrets, the Train Your Focus project, where we talk about the mind and its ability to actually have external effects on our body, and in terms of transforming your life as well. And then we go into the Wonder Woman's philosophy, where we show you how to prioritize and have a blueprint. And it's you fitting, you making your life work in a beautiful way where you're not overwhelmed and stressed out. And you can start getting results like some of the women we showed you today. So that is what you're going to get when you join us today. And when you're one of the first 50 that join us, there is our 3-hour conversation on getting rid of stress and anxiety. So I have put in the chat box for you the link to go and join us today. And I see many of you are already joining us. And I'm super excited about that, because you're going to go right into our Facebook group and start making connections and friends and getting support from not only our team, but from other women in the community. And like I said, this is the first time we're offering this boot camp, and it is a long time coming through lots of trial and error and really honing in on what we know is going to get you results and what's going to work for you. So this is a snapshot of what you're going to get. You're going to get the 6-week face toning boot camp that you will always have access to, even after 6 weeks, and you will always own it and be part of that community. And in that are the 3 modules beneath it: the Reclaim Your Glow, the Skincare Secrets, the Train Your Focus project, where we work on mindset and neuroplasticity, and the Wonder Woman's philosophy. So those are 3 modules that we put inside of the face toning bootcamp. And remember, the face toning bootcamp is a blueprint of what you're going to do every single day for overall face toning. But we want to make sure the rest of you is taken care of as well. So once you access that today for $197, you have access to that always. This is a beautifully set up brand new website that we've just created, laid out as simple and as straightforward as we could make it, so that there's no margin for error. You know exactly what to do. And once you purchase that today, you invest in that today, it is yours. And so are the modules in it. And in addition to that, you get your 2 months into our Face Yogis Insider Club. And those 2 months are free months. And then after that, you can decide whether to carry on with the Insiders Club or not. It's up to you once you've experienced it, but you will get 2 months free to do that. So I know now that we're getting questions coming in, and a couple comments. I'm just going to read some of these, Fumiko, and then I'm going to let you talk even more about like the Insiders Club, what you have planned for, and what the boot camp, because I know the boot camp, I mean, we started Face Yoga Method with an ebook in 2012, and the entire business and the way we've done everything has transformed. And our goal, we've never just sat still. It's never like, oh, this is working. I mean, we know the exercises work, but we're constantly looking at it and saying, how can we make this easier? How can we make it better? How can we make it more transformational? What can we do to ensure and guarantee that people are going to get results if they actually follow the method? And so it's a reconfiguring of that, because we want these results for you, sometimes even more than you do. So I'm going to let you talk about it. I'm getting some questions here. Let's see, or just even some comments too. I've been doing it for 6 months, and it is the best feeling. I'm really having a lavishing transformation in a natural way. It doesn't just work on health and consciousness and doing yoga and eating well and going off Botox. It's a real boost from the inside out, and it's a boost with grace. So thank you for writing that in and just reiterating. It's, because you guys are the ones who really speak for the Face Yoga Method. We know what it does, but I bet if you're sitting out there, you want to hear from people like you did today who have had their own personal transformations. And I have another comment that it really does bring faith that we can deal with aging and looking good. Yes, aging can be a really amazing process when you change the way you look at it. And I know you, Fumiko, probably don't want to go back to your 20s and all that makeup for anything.
No, thank you. I wish I can go back and tell myself, stop wearing the makeup because it's just making you look worse and feeling worse. But I can't. So now here I am, appreciating, enjoying, and almost celebrating my age, which I never thought was going to happen to me when I was younger. I thought 50 is old, like old, old, old. But that's not true. And energy, I used to think when I get older, I'm going to lose energy, I'm going to lose all the excitement, but that's not true. The community I wanted to create and I want you to be part of it is so beautiful. And using the same language coming from same interests, it's like you know the best friend, there. Even online, you can meet people and every single day and you can get excited every day. That's the best feeling. I'm not a big, fan of always online, but I have to admit, I'm getting excitement every day when I wake up, like, woohoo, another before after photo, another transformation. I love that. So I want to be that, that place that you feel it and you can't help yourself. You can't help yourself to share your excitement and the change the people around the world. So if you think like, I want to change something, try it. I'm going to push you. I'm going to make you feel different. So starting tomorrow, right? We can have a webinar tomorrow.
Yeah, starting tomorrow for those that join in the Insiders Club. We're going to do, I'm super excited because I know you have this information. You were just over in Japan working on how acupuncture in combination with the exercises can actually accelerate the results that people are getting. And I don't even know what this is yet. And so I'm super excited to be on that with you tomorrow and to learn that for myself. So I'm going to read a couple things that were written in. I think some of them are just really wonderful comments. Thank you for everybody writing in. And I'm just going to read one or two and see if there's a question in here, or maybe we just have a comment. And remember to join us. Just go in your chat box, and I have the link there in your chat box, or you can write the live chat on the bottom of your screen, and they'll give you the link. And once you join us, you have that face toning bootcamp. That is yours. There's no end date to that. You're always going to have it. And so I started freaking out about my appearance around age 60. I was especially upset about my neck. So I started buying all kinds of firming products for the neck and face, and my face started looking better, but I never thought I'd be able to firm my neck. The products never seemed to work in that area. Around age 61, my computer just went dark. Hold on. Around age 61, I started doing facial exercises, and I was truly thrilled with the way my face was shaping up. I recently turned 65 and now do a formal face exercise routine maybe twice a week. My neck looks good. I never thought I could firm it, but eventually over time and with consistency, I am now very happy with how my neck looks. So I know face yoga and facial exercise definitely work, and it's never too late. However, I do think it's great for younger women to start doing face exercise because it will serve them much better than spending lots of money on products and cosmetic surgery. I love that because it's so preventative. I mean, now I'm so trained by Fumiko, but I literally walk around, when I'm out in public and I see one of my friends or a stranger making these faces that are so detrimental and creating the wrinkles they don't want. It's like sometimes I have to stop myself from talking to strangers, and especially if they're young girls, because they just, sometimes they think that they're impervious to aging. And I'm just like, wow, if you had this awareness of how you could use these muscles now, just think of how amazing your face is going to be just your whole life, because the awareness brings in your mind and your body 30 years from now. So it really is so preventative. Yes, you are welcome. I have a thank you for Miko and the team. I really appreciate what you've done. And thank you for saying that, because your appreciation, your gratitude means a lot. As you saw, we have a big team, and it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into creating this, making it accessible, easy to follow, easy to use for you. And like I said, we never stop thinking about you guys and or you women, and how we can get results for you. So where can you join? You can join. I'm going to put the slide presentation with I'm going to start it with so it's go.com/. www.faceyogamethod.com/bootcamp. So you just go to that URL, and if you're having any issues finding it, there should be a chat box in your bottom screen, and you can just write in, and one of the girls that works for us will take care of you, and she'll help you get into the boot camp. And I'm also gonna, so in your chat box, you should have the offer in your chat box on your screen if you're watching us, and it says 6-week face toning bootcamp, join now. So all you have to do is click that join now button in your chat box, and that will take you straight to the page. So Fumiko, do you want to talk a little bit more? I love it when you talk about how much research and how much feedback was taken into account to create this, and the feedback that you've gotten from tens of thousands of students over a decade of teaching.
Yeah. Well, I have to say it's never ending. And I try to customize it, and I try to refine it, and also add more, not to make it complicated, but what's the best way to give the result all the students are looking for. And I learn from students too, because sometimes the questions I get from people, I'm doing this, I can't get the result. That's why I wanted to learn how to do acupressure, because that was a key. And now I pretty much say that this really changed the way I look at some of the practice and the poses I've been teaching. Because when you have a tightness somewhere, you exercise your muscle, you can't get the result you want. And by pushing some part, doing something a little bit differently, wow, it changed the whole process. And that's something I want to share tomorrow. I'm super excited because some of the people I shared this told me that they never felt this much release instantly after doing the poses together with me. So I'm super excited, not because I'm going to share this knowledge, but because I feel like this is the time for you to really change the way you feel and change your life. Yeah.
I'm excited to learn that, because I know you started that journey earlier this year with that, and when you were in Hawaii learning from this person, and then you went all the way to Japan to get even deeper training from him. And I remember when you were in Hawaii, you sent us pictures of a couple people that you had tried this technique on, and they were people not even necessarily in their face, but in their stomach, and a couple other body areas where they were holding a lot of, I don't even know how you say it, but either they were holding fluids or they were bloated. And the before after pictures, just from doing that one simple technique that you used on them, were amazing. Like you put them in and it's super exciting. And so that, for those of you that are asking, this training is part of the Face Yogis Insiders Club. It's our first mastermind, and it's going to take place tomorrow at 9 a.m., the same time we started today, at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And of course, for the insiders, there's also going to be a recording of it for those of you who aren't available at that time. But I'm going to be there for sure. And hopefully so many of you today are going to be there, because this is a technique that I do not know. And I want to start incorporating it. I was having drinks with a couple of my neighbors last night, and I have neighbors, the one that invited me over, she's over 80. I think she's close to 90. And she started asking me, and she got so excited. And what I loved she's got a lovely spirit and a lovely attitude. And what I loved about it is she said to me, she's like, I forget how, I know she's over 80. And she's like, you know what, you're never too old to make changes. And then she took off her glasses and she showed me where she wanted to work on her eyes. And I just thought, wow, like this woman, I already thought she was amazing, because I see her in the hallways, and I see her out and about, and I've always really enjoyed her. And I've always thought, she's how I want to be when I'm that age, because she has the best spirit. And when I saw her last night asking me this thing, I'm like, that's part of her spirit. Her spirit is never growing old, because she's always willing to learn and to grow. She's not just like, oh, it's all over, I'm this age. And I
Hey, can I say that, Maria? My neighbor, Fran, she's 99, okay? And she wanted to practice face yoga. I'm going to take a video. And she always tell me that there's so much to learn. And once she told me that people in the 70s are lazy. And I said, what do you mean 70s? No, I'm sorry. She said, young people are lazy. I said, what do you mean young people? Tell me what age you're talking about. She said, oh, you know, the people in the 70s. And I start laughing because in her head, yes, people in the 70s are so much younger than she is, right? And she has such a great spirit. And when I show my video, she always tell me, like, are you still doing the face exercise? I said, oh, yeah. And she wanted to sit, and she started doing this and that. And she tell me always, like, I learned something new. And she's 99. She was driving a car until she turned 98. That's when she said, okay, I'm done driving. And we still going to visit her because I love her spirit. I love the way she has her life. And every time we look at her, smiling. I never see her being grumpy. So that's my role model. I'm going to be like that.
Yeah, because your mind is connected to your body. It's all plays in, and that's what's so exciting. That's what makes me excited about the Insiders Club, is to bring, you know, some of that information to be able to spread that word. I know how important that is and what a transformative effect it's had on both of our lives. So I want to bring up the before we wrap this up, and thank you everybody for spending this part of your Saturday with us. We value your time. And we really hope you got so much good learning out of this, and look so forward to seeing all of you and meeting you inside the 6-week face toning boot camp. And I want you to remember that it's not just 6 weeks. It goes on after that. You can rewind. You can do it again. You're part of our Facebook community for the next 2 months. You're definitely part of our Insiders Club. And we're here to serve you and to create what works for you. And very much at this point, we know what works for people. And that's why we were able to show you those amazing results from all these women. But we'll never stop making it better. So, Fumiko, I'm going to put up the slide with the URL to go to. And do you have any parting words you want to say?
Yes. So I want you to listen to your body and listen to your heart. And if you're completely happy with where you're at, the way you look, probably you just go on the journey. But if there's some parts in your body says, I want to be a little different, or if there's something you're not satisfied with, it doesn't matter how you feel or how you look. Try this, because I really think there's a possibility, huge possibility, you're going to be different after 6 weeks. So just come and join me. I'll really want to push you and help you.
Why don't you, Fumiko, can you give one quick, easy exercise from the boot camp? Just something simple, straightforward.
Okay, a simple one. Are you ready? Interlace your fingers in front of you, because that's what I can't help myself doing it. And push your shoulder blades, spread them, and your hands away from you. Feel that? Let's go up and down and feel where you feel the most stretch. You ready? And then pucker your mouth slightly, and we're gonna draw a half circle. We call it moon, half moon. Wow. Go all the way. One more time. Breathe in and out. And interlace your fingers. And then stick your tongue out. Breathe in. Don't worry, nobody's looking at you. And come out. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
For customer support with any questions, we're here for you. And we'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Bye.